4 years old, our house burned down. Insurance didn't cover paying off that mortgage. So fortunately, my mom was a nurse and she was able to work a ridiculous amount of hours, some 80 hours a week, and pay off that mortgage while still finding us another place to live. So I've been fortunate to have a lot of really good role models in my life. Obviously, my mom being at the top of that list. Okay. Well, it's good. Why rock the boat when my child support's low? Yes. Okay. We know who it was filed by.
She always very passionately said, I'm going to be an attorney. And she'd look at me with dead set eyes, and I 100% believed her. And not only just becoming an attorney, but actually being a good attorney that is going to make a difference. Erin's passion sets the bar for everyone else in our office. So we're at home on a Saturday night, it's 8 o'clock, Erin's phone starts buzzing. It says a lot of our staff who's feverishly working to prepare for the cases that we're going to handle that next week. They share Erin's passion, and it's contagious, and it's been spreading through our firm.
All right, thanks for staying so late. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. I love doing family law. I feel like I really help people every day. I feel like we really make a difference for people, and I feel like families are benefited from the work we do. I started this firm with $2,500 in my bank account, and in the course of a year, I've helped over 200 families find a way to get through the turmoil that they're experiencing. I'm Erin Morse, and I'm here to help your family find your new normal.
What should I do?
What should I do?
What should I do?
What should I do?
What are my rights? What are my rights?
What are my rights?
A legal course of action.
A legal course of action.
A legal course of action.
A legal morse of action.
Good afternoon. It is Friday. It is a brand new episode of Legal Morse of Action. This is Patricio, aka Rocky, and right now, someone's alarm is going off. Erin just finished up a conference meeting, so she's going to be joining us in just a few moments. But yeah, welcome back. Is it? Yeah. Oh, I thought it was mine for some reason. I'm here. Gonna bring her in right now. Stand by. Let her get situated.
I'm here.
Well, you're the star of the show. There we go.
You know.
Erin Morse.
Oh my God.
How you doing, Erin?
Oh my God, I'm so good.
So, yeah, last week I wasn't here. My apologies on that one, but it seems that you
Look at the calendar.
Yeah. Erin has grilled me on that one for the past few months now, because I am as much as I do, sometimes I just never look at the calendar. And I sometimes double book myself in multiple things, and I get chewed out for it later on.
I really live and die by my calendar. So when you're like, oh yeah, I'm planning something about us going here or doing this, I'm like, cool, I'm in a mediation.
It's just that sometimes they're just opportunities that like we can't miss, and I try to.
But we have to,
yeah,
because I'm busy.
But hey, we managed to get them done. We managed to get it through.
Yeah, here we are.
And here we are. It is Friday.
Oh no, what's up with the TV?
Oh, I'll fix that.
It's got
I
weak
just
signal.
noticed that.
It's sad.
No,
the TV is sad. So we had a couple of busy weeks, and it's been kind of kind of wild around here.
It really has.
Yeah, it has.
Last week, you guys sat down with Judge Starr and had an amazing conversation.
Judge Starr was so much fun. I really enjoyed her being on the podcast. It's Friday before a holiday weekend.
3-day weekend.
Memorial Day. I'm going to let everybody go home early. I have some things to do after this. I have work in a couple meetings, but then, we're going to do it. We're going to make it happen. I have a few more assignments to get done and, a couple of things going on.
And on top of all that that's going on, the work will continue on until the late evening because
some days I get to go home early. Most of the time I'm here the latest.
And even sometimes I find a way to crash your peace and quiet at home.
Yeah, a bunch of times. When I was on maternity leave, we filmed some videos that are actually super secret client only videos.
Yeah, so if you want to sign up, there's the number.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because we actually have a big reveal that we're going to be doing on tonight. Not us today. We're announcing the reveal of the reveal.
Announcing what it is. I don't know that it's going to be available quite yet. My goal is next week.
Okay.
So that big reveal is I wrote a guide, a journal, a book,
a notebook, a journal, gameplay.
Yeah,
it's something.
It's a guide. It's a guide.
There are pages.
So there are things in the book with words and things to read. So we I put together a guide which is pre-gaming your divorce. And basically it's a guide and a journal to help you collect all the information that you'll need for your divorce, right? So that all the information that your attorney might need, all the information that you might need to make sure that you go scurrying around all of the corners of your own universe to make sure that you have collected for your divorce to put yourself in the best position to deal with all of the matters that you're going to want to make sure you divorce and you don't forget about it.
I remember yesterday when we were going over it, you're going page by page. And then when Dee Dee came in, we were going over, the colors of the cover and all that stuff. Yeah. I honestly, it took me back to when I was a teenager. And you remember when you took the written test to get your driver's license? They would give you this handbook at the DMV and like, all this is going to be on the test. I don't remember any of that ever being on the test.
Yeah.
And then like scrolling all the way to the back to, write down your answers and stuff like this. It was like, it gave you like 3 parts for you to answer one question. It gave you 4 parts to answer this question. And
why do you have such a detailed memory about this?
Because I freaked out because like the second I got to that computer, I'm like, what the hell is this?
Tests weren't your things, huh?
No, they weren't.
Okay.
But like I'd still get through them. I passed with like I only missed 2 wrong.
Yeah.
I only got 2 wrong.
I don't remember at all. I remember that there was a written portion. Yeah. I was really a good test taker in general. I'm really good at being a test taker. So it's why, taking the bar exam was a good thing for me. I did so bad on the like test bar exam that from like your prep materials, the midterm, I did so bad. It like predicted me to definitely fail. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And I did very well on the bar exam.
I wasn't good at and this happened a lot to me in high school where like I wasn't really good at homework, but I would do amazing on the exams.
Yeah.
Because like I just like to work better under pressure, better against the
I did
the
like
clock.
fine at either. Like in general, I did fine. Like tests didn't make me nervous. I don't know. I just wasn't worried about it. It's probably why I'm good at trial. Because I'm like, this is like the test. This is like the exam, right? You do all your prep and you're studying, and then going to trial is like the exam where the judge is like, well, what about the children? What about this? The judge doesn't ever do that. We present our case. But if it's a hot bench, the judge really could be asking you questions about the case, and you really need to be like knowing your facts.
Yeah.
And I always love in court, and this happened very recently, when I like know the facts off the top of my head, I'm like, the child is 4, the child goes to this school, this happens there. And, I'm really good when it comes to juggling all of those things. So like the test of trial.
You really do juggle a lot of
Yeah,
that
I love it.
information
I
and
love it.
all those facts. I wanted to go back real quick because
It happens in our case management
it
where, we're all reviewing it, and off the top of my head, I like know all the facts of these cases. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's the case with the motorcycle, and they have the this and the that. So
it's like the little things that like make us remember the whole the whole severity
yeah,
of the
sometimes I'll
case.
be like the motorcycle case.
The motorcycle case.
Yeah.
Going back to last week, I remember getting a call from Kyle about, hey, we couldn't get the computer on, this or that.
Yeah.
And
well, because I conveniently, when I set that computer up, I put the little password on like a Post-it note.
yes.
And left it there. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is the password to get in. Yeah, you changed it.
No, the thing was when the computer got fixed by IT, it had to get everything got reset. So he just changed it
And told nobody.
to that. No. It was on the paper. It was the first line on the sheet that I gave Kyle.
It's fine.
Yeah.
No one knew. It doesn't matter. It's over.
But
Don't tell people how we make the sauce.
No. It's all good. Going back to it, I was watching for like little tidbits here or there because the signal at the convention center was just horrible.
It always is.
It's like, yeah,
there's too many people in one place.
35,000 people in just one place. And it was just like, it took forever to like, so had to go off like freaking.
If you like never do that again, it's okay. It's okay.
But no, if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check out the last episode of Legal Morse of Action, available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, all over all the podcast platforms. Great conversation with Judge Elizabeth Starr. You like seriously the longest episode you ever had, but the most informative and entertaining.
It was so good. I got some numbers that I had always wondered about judges. What's the number of cases you guys have? And I think I've asked it before to judges, and they kind of told me that it fluctuated. And I that's true, but I never really had a real number, and I just kind of accepted maybe I'll never know, and that was okay with me. And she gave us a number. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but she gave us a real number, and I was shocked.
Because I know that case numbers always reset at the beginning of the year. So to be 2020 DR.
Well, the case number is 2020.
Yeah.
I understand that correlates to the year, but it does. There's like a case number 2020 DR1.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. So like it's always funny to see at the very end of the year what is the final case number. And it would be exponentially high in criminal because there's so many criminal cases, whether it's a misdemeanor or a felony. But it was always high. But I don't know if like when it comes to family laws, how many cases do judges usually go through like on a monthly basis?
What did I just tell you? I don't fucking know.
Well, no, you got the number from the judge that day.
Yeah, but she doesn't do family.
Oh,
she's county.
County.
So she had about 8,000 cases.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's like near impossible to manage.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that it takes 4 or 5 months for the judge to have a hearing. And when a judge goes, I remember this case, I'm like, shit. That's the thing. I remember this case. Damn it. You don't want them to remember your case. And I imagine civil
county.
Yeah, the circuit civil. And divorce, domestic relations cases also have a similar number.
And I've been in front of judges before with previous attorneys where, it's a criminal case and the judge like, oh, Mr. So-and-so, yeah, I see you're back again.
Yeah.
And it's like anytime that would happen, like the just the face you made, like the attorney was just like, oh, crap.
Yeah. So I always, I'd like to think if I were ever a judge, and I don't think I'll ever be a judge, but if you ever say that, that's a sure way to be wrong. So who knows what will happen at this time? No plans.
Yeah. Morse 2028.
Yeah. President of the world. But to be a judge, I think that it's like how our cases where we start discussing our cases and I'm like, oh yeah, this is the one where the son has, the motorcycle and the son goes to middle school, but and I always remember all of these like really specific details. I imagine that would happen with me. I'd be like, I remember your case.
Mhm.
You were the one with the motorcycle, right? Obviously, motorcycle isn't a fact pattern.
No,
Just
yeah.
as a reminder, I make shit up.
Yeah. No,
That's
but
my disclaimer.
But no, you make it so we can make it till we break it. Fake it till we make it. Sorry.
You okay today?
Yeah.
Is that water or what's up?
It's water. It's been a long week.
Yeah.
I don't know why
I've
the
been
computer
working
keeps
hard.
shutting off behind us.
Well, it's sad.
All right. Well, boom.
It's the laptop settings.
Gotcha. Yeah, because usually we have the StreamYard running on it. But okay. Going back to it, we have neglected a lot of the questions.
Oh my God, I have so many.
Because
I'm ready. Go.
All right, just jumping into it.
Stop explaining shit.
My name is still on the deed to the house that my ex resides in. Our divorce was uncontested. What does this mean for me?
Did you deal with the house in your marital settlement agreement?
Now, meaning like, was it brought up and addressed?
Yeah, you have to address it. You have to specifically address the ownership of the house as an asset, and you have to specifically address the home mortgage or liens specifically. So if you don't address them and you don't provide remedies in your marital settlement agreement, you played yourself. So you'll have to file a civil case and get a real estate attorney involved in your case, and then kind of deal with it that way.
And I'm putting up the number for the Florida bar.
Why?
The referral number.
No, call me. I have referrals. I have friends.
Well, then call the number on the bottom of the screen.
I have friends.
It's always great to like get that referral. And like, I think it was last week where I heard about, the difference between a lead and a referral.
Yeah. Hot
and
and cold.
It was
Lead is cold. Referral's hot.
And like you get like that.
I almost shouted it out, but I was like, inappropriate. They don't know me yet.
you clearly could have taken over that meeting.
I should have. It was so. I should have. I should have been like, just give me the mic, hand it over.
Next question coming up. Who is the best LGBT divorce attorney lawyer in Central or South Florida that can fight a tight prenup?
Well, who is the best is probably not something I can answer because you have to find the attorney that works for you. Like there are plenty of people and individuals going through a divorce who probably wouldn't be the right client for me, right? A good example of that is someone who would take offense to me being very honest in your case. So if that's something that feels as though it would be insulting to you, then I am not the right attorney for you, right?
Yeah.
Also, if you think you're the type of person that wants me to just file and do whatever you want, whether or not it's supported by the law or has a high likelihood of success, I'm also not that attorney.
We had you had a consultation a few days ago where they said that they had a consultation with another attorney, and
actually that happened twice this week.
Can you like go into
the third or fourth attorney, and then they hired me?
And of course, like you're not going to go into full detail about their case, but like they made a comment about like how they had spoken to a different attorney, and like their attorney just like didn't give them any options or was like very.
So I asked, what's the difference, right? You spoke with another attorney, you had this conversation, and you are here choosing me, right? You didn't hire them. What's the difference between what you heard from them and what you're hearing from me, and what led you to this decision? And he said that even though it's not necessarily major different amount of information that I gave, I gave him the opportunity to speak.
Yeah.
How could you not? I answered his questions. I didn't tell him this is the information you need, this is the answers you need. I answered those questions for him, and I was willing to come up with a creative solution that worked for his circumstances.
Yeah, because each case is different.
Always.
And the matter of which approach.
Well, and you can get creative. And I think that with marital settlement agreements, generally the creativity comes forward under, how you make sure there's enforceability with children's issues and for equitable distribution specifically, right? What do we do if this can't happen? If a payment can't be made, if this can't happen, how do we enforce it? How do I make sure that the family law court has some power of enforceability in this case?
And there are a lot of times that, like, any case itself is literally like choose your own adventure. This could happen, that could happen, and the outcome could be different.
I bet they don't choose it.
They don't choose it wisely. Let's see. Next question coming up. Thank you so much for that one. The next one is, my husband and I are married in Texas, where we lived together several years. We also live together in Washington, D.C. My husband still lives in D.C., and I now live in Florida. What state do I file?
Why did you do this? So you have options and you need a consultation. If you live together, where the marriage was like, and again, I'm speaking on Florida law, right? So Florida law really wants to rein heavy on where the marriage was last evidenced as intact. So where you were last a married couple together.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds as though the two of you were last a married couple together in Washington, D.C., and then you moved to Florida at a time of separation. So you could file in Florida.
Okay.
He could object to that and file that objection, seek to have it dismissed. In certain scenarios, you still could get your divorce in Florida, so just be divorced. But the children's issues, there's some more questions we have to ask as to whether the children's issue should be addressed here in Florida if you have children, and how or if equitable distribution can be addressed or support alimony could be addressed here in Florida. But there's a chance that those issues would be best dealt with in Washington, D.C. And from that perspective, if you don't have the power of your marriage will be dissolved once you deal with equitable distribution and alimony, etc., sometimes having the power of like dissolving your marriage and dealing with the finances going together at the same time is important. That's why Florida doesn't like to dissolve your marriage, but leave hanging the equitable distribution and children's issues. They are to be addressed all in one cause of action at the same time.
So
also why divorces take so long.
So that
you'll do it here.
With all that being said, and basically it depends, and you would need more and more information.
So much more. You need to talk to me or someone
in Texas, DC, or Florida.
There's a chance you should consult with somebody in all places.
Next one coming in. Does both the CP and or DHR and judge must approve a child support arrears rebate request, or can just one of them?
I don't know what CP and DHR is. So this must be from an out-of-state individual.
Okay.
So CP, I really want to assume, right? I'm going to assume some facts. I'm going to throw some facts on top of this. We like to do this a lot. I make the rules up. It's my podcast. I'll do that.
That's right.
So CP, I imagine, is a child support office, right? DHR might be how, in their case, in some states, like Department of Health and Rehabilitation Services is their child support offices. So that might be what it is. Or it might also be like their equivalent of like DCF. And sometimes in some states, and again, I don't know this law, but I do understand that there's some type of guardian or social worker who comes into the custody cases and help and assist the court in dealing with children's issues on an every single case basis, right? In Florida, we have to get some kind of guardian ad litem or some kind of advocate for the child. And in some states that's provided for by the state. That's not our state. So I assume that. So based on what I just told you,
Hmm.
no, not in Florida. So not in Florida. Generally, I can calculate child support in almost all of my cases. I'm running child support guidelines. Sometimes I run child support guidelines and the judge is like, oh, I'm going to run them. Okay. I'm just trying to make your job easy. I know you have 8,000 cases now. But that is my goal, is generally to make sure that I make the judge's job easy, that I run the child support guidelines, that I know the numbers, that I provide all that proof to the court. It's that's a very important part of what I like to do. So no, I don't. I only really need approval from a court order and the judge
Okay.
on child support. If the parties agree, in almost all scenarios, other than but once or twice, even if it wasn't exactly what was said, if the parties agree, then the judge won't refuse to enter in that agreement if we follow the law, right? And that's something that I do try to do, is I try to make sure that I've checked off all the boxes of the legal requirements, right? So child support offices and Department of Revenue, which would be the Florida equivalent, do not need to sign off and agree with the child support amount.
Okay. Thank you so much for the question. Coming up next is, if DOR set me to pay child support, am I able to see my son now?
No. Congratulations. You're officially the father and you don't have child support. You don't have time sharing. You only have the rights to child support. So you still need to file a paternity action to make sure your child support is right. So now let me tell a cautionary tale.
Mm-hmm.
As of recently, there was this approved ability of the Department of Revenue to enter into a parenting plan. And it's my understanding, and typically if you end up in my office, you're not stuck in this trap, or you chose not to do this or whatever. There is this parenting plan that they can enter into. The parties can voluntarily enter into. There's no court, there's no judge that makes a decision on it, but they can agree to the parenting plan. Again, no enforceable power, but it does provide for some time sharing. You'd still have to go file to have it enforced.
Isn't this kind of like arbitration in a sense?
No.
Like because how you explain that with Judge Judy, what she does.
So no, because
No.
Judge Judy's still she's an arbiter at that point.
Oh, okay.
She still makes the decision and you're bound by it. With this scenario, it's basically like if you printed the form online and signed it.
Oh.
They just will give you the form and allow it to be a part of the DOR case. But my understanding is that it does not have any visibility, enforceability. And you would have to really, if you wanted to enforce it or hold, the other party accountable at it, you'd really have to go file with the circuit court. That's my understanding of it.
Okay.
So I caution you because you are entering into a contract, if you could change it, right? So you may be able to enforce it, but I think it's in every other weekend. So it would be like, what is your worst day in court?
Damn.
I mean, unless, child abuse.
People have their mixed opinions about DOR, and
nobody's mixed opinions. Nobody. It is all the same. Everyone has the same opinion.
I was trying to sugarcoat it, but like you said, we're hardcore with the truth.
I love the DOR attorneys that I've had the opportunity to work with,
mm-hmm.
and I know that they're doing their job and they are following the law. For certain litigants and certain persons, it's not the best option. Okay. DOR will tell you that. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to make sure the child's supported, not provide you with a personal service.
Ooh, okay.
So that their job is to make sure the child is supported, period.
That makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Next one coming up. Can my ex-husband ask me to take over payments for a loan he agreed to pay in our divorce agreement?
He can ask you anything.
That was a wicked smile right there.
He can ask you anything he wants. Are you legally obligated, based on what you tell me, that the agreement is only that he has to pay it? No, you're not legally obligated, but he could ask you anything. Are you nice enough to do it? That's a question that you will have to search your very own heart and soul about.
Next question coming up is... Oh, no, that's actually a logo. My bad. What to do about immigrant marrying me and not telling me she was here illegally?
It's not illegal anymore. You should talk to an immigration attorney.
Fair.
How about that?
Mm-hmm. Next one coming up. Can you still do domestic partnership?
Nope. Go ahead, keep finishing.
If you still married, but I have been separated for 4 years now, and I'm in a new relationship.
Come on. No.
No.
You want to have another wife, another husband at the same time? What do we call that, Patricio?
Bigamy? Or selfish? Illegal?
Yeah. Let's let that one go.
Okay. Can I reduce the alimony amount I paid? She's capable and able to work. She just doesn't want to do it. What can I do?
So first of all, what you should have done was hire an attorney the first time and make sure that you got it on the record.
407-900-7451.
So on its face, those facts alone are not a basis for modification. Because if she has the ability to work today, she likely had the ability to work at the time of your divorce. And if those facts are not true, and she would have grown into having the ability to work, like the children were going to age out, any number of circumstances that you should tell me about because they're specific, like, she wasn't finished with school, any number of things, you should have had some findings that at the conclusion of that known period of time, that she has the ability to work and have your alimony automatically reduced at that time. However, if in your scenario you never raised it and you were just like, you just want it to be over. I hate when people do that. If you can't tell, I cannot stand it. When they're like, but I just want it to be over, so I'm going to take a really bad deal. That's fine, but do so with caution that when you come to me at a later date and you're like, but she has the ability to work, she just chose not to. And that's your fact at the time of your divorce. There is no change to the circumstances and you agreed to it. So you entered into a bad deal. You did so with the knowledge of your bad deal. And you made the decision anyway, so it could just be over.
I love how I realized how much you either dread or hate a case, depending on how high pitched your voices are when it comes to imitating the case.
I just feel bad when it is a true problem that does have a solution.
Mm-hmm.
It just, like, you let it go. And I get it. I understand why you would choose it and why you would want it to be over. But now that you don't like it, you don't like the facts now, I can't change it. That's not a legal basis that the husband decided today was a better time to fight this battle than 5 years ago when they got divorced. So, there'd have to be a change in circumstances that would warrant the reduction of alimony. And again, exploring those options and the fact scenarios that surround it is something you should do in a consultation, because you got some questions and some scenarios. However, it's just, again, what do I do with this? You played yourself.
Next one coming up is, I recently proposed to my girlfriend. I just found out she was cheating on me and I want to break it off. Can I get my ring back?
Yes.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
Does a quitclaim deed made during a marriage on separate property make it marital property?
Depends on what the quitclaim deed says, but the quitclaim deed would have to deed it in one way or the other. If it made both of you owners of a property,
Mm-hmm.
yes, that would be a property issue that can and should be dealt with at the time of the divorce.
Okay. All right, so we are out of the questions for today. You kind of went like rapid fire on them.
Yeah, I was angry. I had a busy week.
And we are on the brink of a 3-day weekend. So
I
got a good one for you today.
Mhm.
I heard about this the other day and I saved it because I just laughed when I heard the whole sentence of it. But my question is, Erin, do you know what an NFT is?
Yes.
Okay, so you know what an NFT is. Let's bring this up.
Yes,
right.
I also use the internet.
Bringing it up right here. Madonna is selling NFTs of her 3D scan of her vagina. I'm just pulling it up right there because the second I heard it, I was thrown off by that. And Madonna is diving into the NFT market crotch first. She's auctioning off 3 NFTs, and each one is a computer generated video where something different is growing out of her vagina. In one, it's a tree. In another, it's a swarm of butterflies, and in the third, it's a little robotic. It's little robotic centipedes. Erin, your thoughts? Look into Madonna's eyes as you make your response.
You know, I'm a big fan of people doing whatever the hell it is they want to do. I got real cringy vibes about this.
Okay. It just
Uh, also, is there a market for this? And what the hell?
Oh. So yeah, she's diving into the NFT market, which has been blown up for a substantial amount of time right now, and been very lucrative to certain individuals who have, taken the risk and plunged into it. Now Madonna's going in there,
Good for her.
and I'm sure there's going to be people
You know
who.
what? I'm a big fan of people running businesses and making their money the way the market dictates that they can make money.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to read.
About it.
I'm going to read part of the article right here. Madonna says, quote, "I wanted to investigate the concept of creation, not only the way a child enters the world through a woman's vagina, but also the way an artist gives birth to creativity."
Okay. Madonna's known for being salacious and exciting when it comes to this kind of thing. So I'm about it.
Okay.
Good for her.
Good for her.
Live your life. You know, we haven't talked at all, and there's been like 6 weeks of it.
I'm done.
What are you done with?
I know where you're going.
We haven't done any of it.
Okay, I know.
Amber Heard and Johnny Depp.
All right. We're doing this.
I mean, I'm not going to get too in depth.
Depp. Oh, come on.
I was just going to let that awkwardness be there. I was going to let it hang out there and just be there.
I'm just getting tired of the whole "my dog stepped on a bee" meme.
Oh, well then turn off the internet.
I can't turn off the internet.
You gotta stop looking at them. You gotta like swipe off of them.
They keep popping up in my feed and they're funny.
You gotta get rid of them.
But go ahead, Erin. What has been like your takeaways from the trial so far?
I love watching the lawyers in action. I'm such a nerd. It was so exciting. It's fun to watch them kind of like go at it with each other.
Did you see the reporter from TMZ go off on the attorney?
That's my most recent favorite moment. And I really loved when opposing counsel objected to it being argumentative, and it is, and I get that objection on occasion against me. That's one that I get. The judge will be like, "It is argumentative," I'm like, but I can ask the question, and I get kind of argumentative with the judge, and they're like, "Yeah, you gotta know, answer the question." Like, but calm down, Ms. Morris. I'm like, all right. But and then he posed it back to her. I don't usually let people that I'm questioning ask me questions, because I'll do this, right? And I've done it a number of times.
We are asking the questions here.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't get to ask me questions. So, but it was really funny because that was a really stupid question to ask him, as if and the person answering the question was right. Like, you're taking a very publicized case. You are an attorney on a very publicized case.
Yeah. Whether
she wins or loses, this attorney is going to be publicized, right? This will be their most famous case.
Yeah.
So
that's their 15 minutes of fame.
Exactly. And that's exactly what everyone is engaging with in this story. Everybody sees the cameras. Nobody's stupid. Johnny Depp is very famous. Amber Heard is a person. And, what I really hate, and this is part of what I want to put on my soapbox, I really hate if it isn't true, and again, this is for a jury to decide, so we'll see what they decide. If it's not true that she was a victim of domestic violence, and from the evidence that I saw, there's definitely a lot of her perpetrating a lot of violence.
Hmm.
And I don't know that I've gotten any clear proof that he's been violent, right? There were recordings of her saying, "Oh, I hit you, Johnny. I didn't beat you," stuff like that. That's not a direct quote.
Yeah.
Go find the internet, right? Go find it. But what she did by falsifying her position as a victim and not being a victim is every time a woman who is truly a victim
Yeah.
tries to come forward on that, they're a little less trustworthy.
Hmm.
Because now this type of a case could come forward, a defamation, because she now is laying the groundwork for a person who is accused of being a domestic abuser to have a case come against them. So could you imagine someone who is legitimately a victim of domestic violence, right?
Hmm.
Going public with their story, which is truthful, now having to defend a major 6-week defamation case. Now, of course, not everybody's Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, but it becomes another tool in a domestic abuser's toolbox that they now can file this. Now, Johnny Depp had to file it.
Hmm.
His reputation got tarnished.
Oh yeah.
So he really needed the court of public opinion to.
We'll never see him as Jack ever again.
Well, I suspect that might change. I do. I understand what everyone's saying right now, but I don't know.
Hopefully, I do
You can't
hope.
replace Johnny Depp. There's no one like him.
There's
no one even in his brand or genre.
Not even, no. I can't see anyone else playing Jack Sparrow.
Edward Scissorhands.
Or yeah, that's what
it would have to be an entirely different adaptation. It would just be a different character.
I hope I'm knocking on wood. I'm crossing fingers, doing everything on this one. I hope that movie never gets remade.
Right.
Edward, because that one is fine where it's at.
Right.
It's still making its impact in pop culture as we speak.
Right.
And
so he is his own version of whatever it is that he does.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one like him.
Nope.
So, when this happened, I was like, not Johnny. No, you can't have him. It was very upsetting. So I understand why he had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it sucks for legitimate domestic violence victims.
Yeah. When
they need to outcry, or they want an outlet, or they want to tell their story. Because now you have basically case and social precedent.
Mm-hmm. Question: this trial started around the same time that the whole Will Smith and Chris Rock thing happened, right? Or was this afterwards?
I'm sorry. We'll have to go into the internet database
because they get digging up old skeletons right there. It's been quiet on the whole Will Smith part these past few weeks. It's all been about.
Yeah, we've moved on.
We
do. We often do.
Mm-hmm.
We, a society, do. I knew that was going to happen when he did it, right?
Yeah.
We'll be over it.
He goes into hiding or whatever.
Yeah, whatever they're doing. So, what do you think about it?
In regards to the trial itself?
Yeah. Any
I
thoughts
think
on it?
honestly, I feel these attorneys are just taking the time right now, taking their time and just questioning all these high profile people, and it's literally just it's feeding the media.
Well, they made sure all the cameras were there.
Yeah.
But that's justice. I do think that public court proceedings
Mm-hmm.
is a form of justice. I think that it's, how we make sure that a fair and just court proceeding is happening. If the judge knows that the whole world is watching, how do you think they're going to behave?
It's wild. The one thing that there was one hearing in the past few weeks that I'm surprised it didn't get as much attention as the Amber Heard Johnny Depp story, and that was there was a congressional hearing about UFOs, and it was the first time that's happened in 50 years.
Wow.
And yeah, exactly. It's insane that no one really focuses on that one. and they're focusing on this whole he hit her, she hit him, back and forth, back and forth. I honestly, I'm at the point right now, and this is going to sound horrible, or take your opinion however you want to take it. I feel bad for Amber Heard at this point because like there's no digging out. She's dug herself a hole so bad that there's no way her career can ever get back to where it
Respectfully,
was.
it was barely off the ground.
It was barely off the ground. You're right. Johnny's just took a freaking ding on the side, and it's gonna keep going.
Well, he had to pay attorneys a lot of money for this.
Oh yeah.
So he's earning it.
That's that's a dead man's chest and world's end right there, paying for all this attorney's fees.
Listen, I wish I was one of the attorneys. This would be such a fun trial to be on.
Oh my God, that'd be insane.
It would be so good.
Yeah,
I would want to be on Johnny's.
Like, what would be your thought process? Like, Erin, you're going to be questioning Johnny Depp today.
Well, I would want to know what incidents we were questioning him about.
Let's say you were questioning about, the night in Los Angeles where apparently
My big focus would be prepping him.
Okay.
I'd probably go through the questions and like beat him up on the way. You just have to.
Great choice of words right there.
Intensely prepare him.
There you go. Like,
damn it! I just started representing Amber Heard.
How long would it take for you to prep Johnny Depp
for this kind of a case?
For this kind of a case, like let's say you're lead counsel.
We would probably have. You'd need to be prepping. He'd probably need like 30 days.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Because you're supposed to prep for double the amount of time you're in court.
Isn't this like what, day 24 or 20?
6 weeks of trial. Is my understanding. Correct us.
That's a
Internet.
long.
I see you watching, so correct me.
It's a long time for trial.
April 4th was the first day.
How long was the OJ trial?
Time.
Yeah, time.
2 months. I don't know. Let's get up on the school.
I'm literally.
How long? How long was World War One?
Yeah. Holy crap! It's been 25 years.
11 months.
Holy moly!
Yeah.
And I remember being a kid in that trial, overtaking all the cartoon time when I get home from school because that thing was still going on. And it was
so fun to watch, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Everyone else, I'm just like, I want to watch Pinky and the Brain. No, we're talking about OJ right now. So it would take, like you say, like 30 days to prep Johnny.
30 days of just like meetings with him, probably.
Do you see any flaw right now in Johnny's on Johnny's counsel where like you would have taken a different approach?
I think the couple of times where his attorney was like, like that kind of shit, I probably wouldn't do because you don't want the jury to be like, look at this smug bastard.
Yeah.
Right. You're putting on a show for the jury. So I don't know that I would have done that, but does it matter? Like the judge knows my face when something happens. Like there have been times in court where the other side is like saying stuff that is just trashing their case, like they're just ruining it, and the judge comes over and the judge has looked at me and done one of these, right? So if you imagine that I'm the judge, the judge hears this happening and is paying attention and then looks at me like this. And then goes back to listening. So you don't need to do much more than that. Like judges get it. But I think I don't know that I would have taken much of a different approach. I love this like sideline half story of him dating one of the lawyers. I believe that it's untrue.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, I don't think that they've come out and said that they were. I believe that it's untrue, but they are playing it up to piss Amber Heard off.
At that point, that would still, I mean, the case going on, that would still be attorney-client privilege, right?
I mean, it's not relevant, right? So
Right.
relevance is, but what I think, and I don't know how I would handle this if I knew it,
Hmm.
that her drinking alcohol,
Okay.
or like what the remedy would be. Like, so what?
We all.
Or her snorting cocaine in the middle of court.
What would be the relevance of that?
The remedy.
The remedy.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think I would want it portrayed to the jury.
Okay.
I'd want to say something.
But like
Objection, Your Honor.
cocaine.
Well, if Your Honor, it's what appeared to be Amber Heard snorting a line of cocaine in her tissue,
Hmm.
right?
That's yeah.
As former counsel in drug court, I don't know what their history is, but you
Mhm.
could come up with a reason why you'd know that.
Yeah.
My reasoning would be I worked in an emergency room.
You know the signs.
You know how to spot that. And if they're using cocaine, a lot of cardiac medication can't be taken. So it is something we have to take seriously.
Hmm.
So I don't mean to be trite, but that's inappropriate, Your Honor. And if she's under the influence of something and she can't properly, because if you're under the influence of drugs or alcohol, you really can't answer the questions truthfully or your
Correct.
memory or whatever. I think I would maybe have phrased it there. I don't think it would have gone anywhere. I think there's a chance it wouldn't have gone anywhere, but I would have told the jury. Didn't it look like I would be doing the equivalent of like, did you see that? Didn't it look like cocaine on the stand? Can you believe her?
Oh my God.
Girl. That's exactly how I would have done that. But I don't know this judge, and I don't know if kind of stepping that far out of line would have gone over well.
Hmm.
It might have been strategically let it be.
Let it be.
Yeah.
Okay. And with that being said, any final thoughts as we wrap up and begin our 3-day weekend?
Don't do cocaine when you're testifying. I just talked about it. You missed it. You missed it. I have someone commenting like, talk about her doing cocaine on the stand. I did. I just talked about it. I talked about how I would handle it. You're gonna have to rewatch the video, man. I would have made the jury hear me accuse her of it.
Oh, they missed the cocaine part? That blows.
All right, well, happy weekend.